festivities of Fight Week for Fury Wilder 3 are underway. Grand arrivals are happening later this evening, and thus the hype machine is in full gear for this much anticipated heavyweight bout. One person who is a big call on Tyson Fury's chances on October 9th is Matchroom Sports Chairman Eddie Hearn, speaking to Boxing Social. Tyson Fury doesn't look ready, in my opinion. I still think he'll win comfortably, but it does throw in the likelihood of a mistake happening. If you make a mistake against Deontay Wilder, it could cost you the fight. He's very dangerous. I don't see him, Fury that is, losing a round, but it doesn't really matter. One mistake and it can be over. Okay, Barack, now Tyson Fury is never chiseled. He doesn't have an Anthony Joshua type of frame, so I never really know if he's prepared or not, or in shape. And I'm not talking about when he was 400 pounds. I'm talking about just on fight week. He always looks the same. So I don't know why.
What are you insinuating when you say the same? What do you mean?
I'm saying
fat?
is
that what you mean?
I don't know why Eddie just has a hunch that he's not prepared. He always looks the same to me. I don't know if he's prepared or not. Who the hell knows? We're not gonna know until the fight starts.
I don't. I always say that boxing is a small world, right? So a lot of times your opponent knows what's going on in your camp, and maybe even vice versa. Now, to say that he doesn't look ready, I don't know if he's just basing it on his physical stature, because he always looks a little out of shape. He never looks good. He's not a good-looking guy, as far as his body. But when he's saying he can be liable to make a mistake, what does that mean? That's why we got to talk to him and ask him, because in reality, a mistake is pulling back, straight back with your hands down, or not keeping that left hand up, or throwing a lazy jab and getting countered. Those are mistakes. Now, if you're talking about somebody who looks like they're not training, which you can't really tell with Tyson sometimes look decent. Sometimes he looks decent. I got a picture of him where he looks decent. But he's a little fat around the waist. But if he's talking about stamina, that got nothing to do with making a mistake.
You can be in the best shape of your life and make a damn mistake in a ring and get clipped. You can have you can barely make a mistake in an exchange and get hit with one shot from Deontay and get knocked out. I mean, because it's going to be nearly impossible to go through a 12-round fight and not get hit once. I mean, you have to be really good. Now, Tyson Fury does possess that level of skill, in my opinion, enough to stay away from a flush shot. You might get hit with a jab here and there, but he does have that particular skill. So in other words, he has to fight a perfect fight not to land that shot. Now, we all know that Deontay is going into this fight with more confidence. At least that's what we think, being that he's changed trainers. He's displayed some of his, new tricks on social media, and it looks good. He looks good. I think that helps with confidence. Going in there with a new team, Malik Scott has been praising him. That gives you a certain level of confidence. We don't know if that's gonna translate in the ring. We all know when the bright lights hit, your nerves kick in. We might not be able to execute that. But I do think we're going to see a better Deontay Wilder on Saturday night.
Yeah, first of all, when you're talking about confidence, he's always had a supreme level of confidence where it's kind of like crazy, his confidence. I've always said that to him. I'm like, wow, there's never been anybody that's that, maybe Floyd. But let me tell you something. I don't even think he needs that. I think that he has so much anger. He has so much anger from the last fight. That's what he's riding on. And you know what?
But that doesn't always translate to a good performance, man. Anger.
No,
especially when you fight a better boxer.
No, of course. First of all, fighting with anger is not necessarily great. But I'm just saying he has a lot of anger that's built up inside from the last fight. And he has serious power when he's the guy that was stopped in the last fight. And all we're really talking about is Fury staying away from his power. Yeah. That's a powerful guy.
Eddie Hearn is not the only guy that has been saying they don't like the way Tyson Fury looks. I mean, even in the UK, we heard whispers like, I don't know if he's ready. A lot of people, more than I imagined, are saying that Deontay Wilder is going to land a big shot and knock Tyson Fury out. He's still the underdog. He's a plus 235, if I'm not mistaken, in Vegas, so you can still win big. I might be placing a big bet on a knockout. I don't know who I'm picking yet, but I'm trying to make some money while in Vegas. But I don't know, Barack. I think I like to see, once we're in Vegas and we see the weigh-in, we'll get a better shot of what Tyson Fury looks like. We'll be able to see if he is physically ready, at least.
I will never, ever care. I threw up a picture the other day of Deontay Wilder saying, oh, he looks whatever, whatever. I know that means nothing. I know the physicality, for the most part, means nothing. You know what I mean? And especially when you're talking about somebody like Tyson Fury, who's not really trying to look a certain way. You know, and think about it. He came in 270-some pounds. He's supposed to look chubby.
Right.
He's supposed to look chubby. He didn't muscle that up. He gained it with eating.
And he's smart enough to be able to use that weight to his advantage. He's that type of boxer where he has a lot of tricks up his sleeve.